Hello everyone, welcome to Fat 50 and Running a Marathon, a channel dedicated to health, diet, fitness, and goal achievement. I'm your humble host Topher, and I hope you'll like this video, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, weigh in with your thoughts, opinions, and relatable stories in the comments section. This is the Thick or Thin Thursday video for the 3rd of August, 2023. Well, if you watch this channel with any degree of frequency, you know that back in December I attempted to run a marathon and was only able to log a half marathon. And so I've been thinking about what exactly it was that caused me to fail. I know there's a lot of negativity with the idea of failing, but actually there shouldn't be. And the reason that you fail is that you tried. And I tried and I failed, and I did not succeed in getting a marathon in before my 51st birthday. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't try again to go for another marathon, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I've been asking myself, what exactly is it I need to do to be prepared for the next marathon so I don't have the same difficulties next time around? And it occurred to me that something that I read in my training book, the Non-Runner's Marathon Trainer by David Whitsitt, is it mentions the fact that runners have slender bodies. Regardless of how tall they are, they have lean muscle and they don't have a lot of flab. Well, I know that I've been needing to get rid of this flab for a while for a variety of reasons, but especially in particular, in respect to the marathon, it's going to be much easier for me to run if I don't have all this flab. Well, I got on the scale this morning and I weighed 244.3 pounds, so let's call it 245 pounds. And I decided in order for me to get to the weight that I want to be, in order to train for a marathon, I need to be down to 190, which means I need to lose 55 pounds. And I thought to myself, okay, what could I do? What is a difficult but not impossible goal? And the difficult but not impossible goal is by Halloween for me to lose those 55 pounds. That's almost 20 pounds a month. It's a difficult goal. It's not impossible. I may fail, but the only way that I'm going to get to that point is by trying and failing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I thought to myself, okay, now what do I need to do in order to get there? Well, if you're familiar with the idea of baby steps, what it is you say, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is the first step I need to take in order to get to that. More often than not, your first baby step isn't actually your first baby step. It turns out that there's something you need to do even before that baby step. And so what I decided, as I said, was that I needed to get rid of 55 pounds in order to get to the weight that I want to be in order to train for the marathon itself. So what did I need to do in order to do that? Well, I set up a system, and the system goes a little something like this. Every morning, I have to get up and I have to walk 3 miles. By doing that, not only am I losing weight or attempting to lose weight, but I'm getting myself in the mode of every single day I have to run some. I have to, or not, at this point I'm not running, I am walking. So what do I need to do in respect to that? I need to walk faster as best I can every morning. And I'm going to start timing how long it takes me to walk those 3 miles. And each day, or even if it's just each week, I'm going to try to do a little bit better at my time and try to move a little bit faster, try to walk faster, try to get to the point where I'm actually jogging. And that's the very, very first step, is getting up in the morning and walking the 3 miles. Secondly, after doing that every morning, I need to do a calorie-burning yoga routine. Now, I have a great DVD. It's by the company called Body by Yoga. I've not been compensated in any way, shape, or form to endorse them. I'm just telling you what I use and what I think is great. And it is a Yoga for Beginners DVD. It has 4 different programs, 3 of which are better at calorie burning than the other. I'm going to go into the 4th one in a second, but the 3 that I will be using in the mornings are called Strength, Sweat, and Sharpen. And strength, as you can well imagine, is a routine that's designed to help you build muscle. Sweat is one that's designed to help you lose weight by sweating out a bunch of the fat. And Sharpen is basically a fundamentals video where you are learning how to get the correct form and application. So I've decided every morning I'm going to do one of those 3 videos. Another thing that I'm going to do is there's the 4th video that I didn't mention, or the 4th routine that I didn't mention on the DVD, is called Stretch. And Nancy and I have been doing Stretch for quite some time, but it is actually designed to help you relax. And even during the course of the routine, the guy who's doing the routine, the instructor as it were, suggest doing it before going to bed. And I have learned repeatedly, I've been reading again and again about losing weight. One of the things they suggest with losing weight is making sure you get enough sleep. Apparently, if you're not getting enough sleep, you're more prone to eating unhealthy. And people who sleep or get a good night's sleep, whether it's enough or not, if they get good sleep, are less likely to eat bad foods. Another thing that I do is every night now for 7 minutes at least, and I'm going to be trying to maybe up that, I lift weights. I've got some 5-pound barbell or dumbbells that I use every night, and I do a routine of lifting weights with my arms. The reason for that is that I have what's often called bingo wings here, and that is flab. That's flab that I would be carrying when running. True enough, it's not on my legs, but still, it's weight that's being carried. And as I've read repeatedly before, your body, your joints, your knees, your ankles, when you're running, they don't care whether you're holding, what you have is fat or muscle. All they know is that a great deal of weight is coming down on them. And the more pressure you're putting on your joints, the more difficult and more pain you're putting into those joints. So by getting rid of flab everywhere, my neck, my arms, my stomach, I'm making it easier for my ankles and my knees when I go out running. The next thing I'm going to be doing is restricting myself very, very, very strictly to 1,000 calories a day. Turns out that 1,000 calories a day is plenty for me to eat, especially if I make wiser choices about what I eat. I've been doing just fine with 1,000 calories a day, and I have my Fitbit has a program on the phone where I can keep track of my calories. I've been counting my calories as best I can, and I'm going to restrict myself to 1,000 calories a day. Another thing I need to be doing, and Fitbit also encourages this, is 64 ounces of water. I've been reading repeatedly how drinking water throughout the day fills your stomach. The more your stomach is full, the less likely you are to feel hungry. The less hungry you feel, the less likely you are to eat. So by keeping my stomach full of water throughout the day, that's the best thing I'm going to do. And that's another thing I need to do is spread it out. I've been doing this thing where I try and get all my water drinking in before, say, 1 p.m. Now I need to get my water drinking in before 8 p.m. That's part of the 3-2-1 program by Dan Go. We'll talk about that maybe next week. But the idea is that 2 hours prior to sleeping is when you stop drinking fluids. And so if I'm going to bed by 10 o'clock, I need to be stopping my fluids by 8 o'clock. And so I need to be getting those 64 ounces of water in by 8 o'clock, but spreading it across the day so that I'm drinking all throughout the day. Number 7, I need to be very, very strict about my sugar intake. I've been doing a pretty lousy job of keeping track of my sugar intake or even restricting my sugar intake. I haven't been overdoing it, but pretty much every day I've been eating sugar of some variety. There's really no... I've been thinking about what it is that causes a special occasion. As I mentioned earlier, my birthday was on Sunday. On Monday, my acting coach, Kim Hopkins, had a birthday cake for me, and as I was slicing up cake, I was slicing up smaller slices and bigger slices, and then or regular sized slices, I should say. I ended up taking one of the regular sized slices. Shouldn't have done that. Should have taken one of the very small slices to show my appreciation for the fact that she got the cake for me. Have a little bit of that sugar, but should not have had a full-size slice. That's something that I've been keeping in mind, and as of yet, I can't think of any occasion coming up whereby it's appropriate for me to eat sugar. So until Halloween, I don't see myself eating any sugar. Now naturally, I may have some difficulties maintaining this. I'm not claiming that I'm going to be perfect during this time, but the only way that I'm going to be able to restrict my sugar intake is if I set a goal of 0 sugar, with the exception of, and I do this in the form of Coca-Cola. I am addicted to Coca-Cola. I drink it fairly frequently. The only thing I can do at this point is try and restrict the number of times in the week and the number of cans that I drink when I do drink Coca-Cola. The other thing that I'm going to be very strict about is my eating schedule. I follow an intermittent fasting eating schedule of eating only between the hours of noon to 7. Because part of Dan Go's 3-2-1 program is that you stop eating 3 hours prior to going to bed. And again, like I said, we'll talk about the 3-2-1 program and the ideals behind it at a later date. But for my purposes here, the idea is that I stop eating at 7 o'clock. And so far that hasn't been a problem, stopping eating at 7 o'clock. The problem is that I've been prone to eating somewhere around 9:30 as it gets later and later. So what I just have to do is accept the fact that I'm going to be experiencing hunger pangs and dealing with it. And something that I've been reading, and I agree with completely, is that it's okay to experience hunger. It really is. See, the thing is, I live in the United States where there's plenty of food all the time, always. And so the minute I felt anything in the way of a hunger pang, I've been known to just go and eat. Well, it's okay to experience hunger. It's okay to go about your day feeling hungry. It's all right. It really is. Hungry is basically a motivator. In fact, there's even a phrase known as the lean and hungry look. When employers are looking for applicants for jobs, they describe it as the lean and hungry look. So there's nothing wrong with being hungry, and I'm just going to be experiencing hunger pangs, and I'm going to be learning how to deal with that. And we'll probably talk about that in a later video too, how I'm dealing with those things. And the last thing I'm going to be doing, number 9 on my program, is 1 day a week I'm going to be full-on fasting. Now, because I have not done full fasting previously, or only once or twice, very, very infrequently, in order to get the routine to where it needs to be, fasting for me will mean somewhere between 300 to 400 calories a day. That would probably come in the form of, say, maybe an egg and a piece of toast, something along those lines, but I'm thinking maybe Sundays would be a good day for that. Excuse me. And that's the final program. So that's my 9-step program. Walking 3 miles, doing a calorie-burning yoga routine in the morning, doing stretch before bed for proper sleep, 7 minutes plus of weightlifting, restricting myself to 1,000 calories or less 6 days a week, 64 ounces of water by 8 p.m., a very strict sugar intake, a strict noon to 7 p.m. eating schedule, and then finally a day of fasting with 300 to 400 calories at most. So there you have it. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what you're going to be seeing over the next, hopefully you're going to be seeing changes over the next 90 days. Next week we're actually going to take some pictures. I'm not going to be showing you pictures every week like I used to before. Like I said before, this is not the Topher channel. This is a channel for everybody to talk about what they need to do in order to achieve their goals. I've just laid out what I need to do, and these are the baby steps that I'm taking. So there you have it, and I hope that whatever your marathon is, that you're making baby steps towards achieving it. And I thank you for watching, and remember, only by taking care of ourselves first are we capable of taking care of others. Topher.